Good day, good people. From Psalm 122. I was glad when they said to me, "Let us go to the house of the Lord." This weekend sees the further relaxation of the lockdown guidelines, and churches are allowed to hold services. We must observe hygiene and social distancing, but we have calculated that we can make 12 pews available at a time, meaning that in each of the pews a couple, an individual or a family might sit and take part. First service will be on Monday, the 6th of July at 10 o'clock in the morning, and another on Tuesday, the 7th of July at 6:30 in the evening. And we invite you to sign up for one of them. We will celebrate Holy Communion within the guidance produced by the National Church. So, for example, the bread and wine will be covered at all times, and the priest will sanitize their hands before and after handling the elements, and individual wafers will be dropped into the open hand of each communicant. There will be no servers or acolytes, and the president alone will prepare the altar. The reason we ask you to sign up is so that we know that we won't have too many people at once, and you know that there will be a space reserved for you, and also so that we have a record in case anyone has to contact the NHS Test and Trace service. The services will be said with recorded music at certain points to help create a sense of occasion, and we anticipate they will last about 30 or 40 minutes. Building on this experience, we will then offer a service on Sunday, the 12th of July at 11:30 a.m. and, depending on demand, subsequent Mondays and Tuesdays. I recognise that they will be quite unlike our usual services, and I also think that some people will feel uneasy about entering the church building while the threat posed by the coronavirus is still prevalent. The requirements of social distancing will certainly make it a very strange experience. But I know also that some people really miss the Eucharist and would like to participate. In the meantime, we will continue to record and premiere a parish Eucharist at 10 a.m. on Facebook and YouTube, followed by a Zoom parish breakfast on Sundays and a Zoom evening prayer at 5 o'clock. The live-streamed morning and evening prayer at 8:30 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday to Friday will continue on Facebook, and we will continue to send out paper copies of an act of worship to those who don't use the internet. I hope that this means that whichever form of worship you find most conducive will enable you to feel part of our church community, and that as and when you feel ready to come to a service in the church itself, you will feel able to do so. To book a place, please call John on 0191 2851 0148 or leave him an email, revjohncooper@gmail.com. This weekend is also important in the life of the parish because on Saturday, Yvette Daniel will be licensed as our curate, and we welcome her and Marco into our church family. She will be taking part in both online services on Sunday, and on Sunday lunchtime she will be present on the church field from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock for the breakfast church picnic, and to greet anyone else who would like to pass by and say hello. The food bank collection box will also be available at this time, so please do come if you can. It's possible that up to 30 people might attend at once, suitably socially distanced. So if the weather's nice and you fancy bringing a rug and a sandwich and a flask, then do so. If the weather is poor, be ready for the fact that we might not meet. The date on Sunday will be the 5th of July, which is notable because it marks the 72nd anniversary of the inauguration of the National Health Service. It was Danny Boyle in the Olympics opening ceremony in 2012 in London who identified to the world that the NHS is one of the defining characteristics of British life. All of us have cause to be grateful for it. One parishioner recently told me how he owed his life to the NHS, literally, because he was born by caesarean section and later in life received treatment of what might otherwise have been a life-changing injury. Some of our church family are doctors and nurses, or work or have worked in the health service in other roles, and some of them will be taking part in our online service this Sunday morning. So do join us if you can to give thanks and pray for the NHS. The preacher will be Katie Watson, our other new curate, and who is Deputy Lead Chaplain at the Newcastle Hospitals Trust. And I hope that we will continue to see increased collaboration between ourselves and the healthcare community in the coming years. In his novel, The Citadel, A.J. Cronin tells the story of a young doctor railing against the unequal and inefficient system of private healthcare before the Second World War. The novel was an important document in the political process that created the NHS. Right at the end of the book, the main character finds himself at the door of a church. He had never been a churchgoer, but now here he was, in this unknown church. Tribulation brought people here, brought people to their senses, brought people to the thought of God. There he sat, bowed like a man resting at the end of a journey. His thoughts flowed outwards, not in any considered prayer, but winged with the longing of his soul. Whatever brings each one of us, or anyone, to the door of our church, may they find here fulfillment of the longing of their hearts. And let us work together to ensure not only that we find nourishment here, but that others who live amongst us and further afield will know that the faith we share at St. Francis Church is medicine for the soul and balm in a troubled world.